Could Manchester City be saying goodbye to a star? The football world is abuzz with speculation. Could Manchester City, the reigning Premier League champions, be letting go of one of their key players? The rumour mill is turning fast as reports surface that the Sky Blues are reconsidering their stance on selling the Luso-Brazilian talent, Matheus Nunes. After initially blocking his departure, City might now be ready to negotiate for a fee around €40 million. But what led to this change of heart? And how could this potential move reshape the squad's future and financial strategy? Stay tuned as we delve into the drama unfolding behind the scenes at the Etihad Stadium. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Manchester City news. The calm before the storm. It was a typical summer in Manchester, where the skies are as grey as the city's football history is blue. The citizens had just wrapped up a successful transfer window, bringing in new faces like Savinho and Dome to strengthen their squad. The fans were content, believing that their team was set for another season of dominance. But in the world of football, peace is often the precursor to chaos. The media had been quiet, with only whispers of potential exits. Manchester City's roster seemed locked in, and Pep Guardiola appeared confident with the team at his disposal. The focus was entirely on the season ahead and the challenges that awaited in the Premier League and Champions League. Yet, deep within the corridors of the Etihad Stadium, discussions were brewing that could shake the club's foundations. As the transfer window neared its close, reports began to emerge from the British press suggesting that the Sky Blues were reconsidering their strategy. The reason? Financial fair play rules and the need for flexibility in the upcoming January transfer window. This led to the surprising revelation that some players, previously deemed untouchable, might be on the verge of an exit. The fair play conundrum. Financial fair play, FFP, has become a central theme in modern football, dictating how clubs manage their finances and, by extension, their transfer strategies. For Manchester City, a club with significant financial backing, adhering to these regulations is a balancing act. The need to maintain a compliant wage bill while continuing to invest in top-tier talent is a constant challenge. The arrival of big names like Ndone and Savinho was part of City's ongoing strategy to stay competitive at the highest levels. However, these acquisitions also brought the club closer to the limits set by FFP regulations. To avoid potential sanctions and maintain their spending power, City's board began to contemplate offloading some players. This wasn't just about compliance, it was about ensuring they could continue to compete in the transfer market when opportunities arose. The decision to potentially sell Matheus Nunes emerged from this financial balancing act. Acquired with high hopes, Nunes had shown flashes of brilliance but hadn't yet established himself as indispensable. With offers reportedly coming in, the possibility of cashing in on the player became increasingly appealing to the club's decision-makers. Matheus Nunes, the rising star. Matheus Nunes arrived at Manchester City with much anticipation. The Luso-Brazilian midfielder was seen as a player with immense potential, a dynamic force capable of dictating play and providing a creative spark. His signing was a statement of intent from City, showing their commitment to securing young, talented players who could shape the future of the club. Nunes quickly integrated into the squad, impressing teammates and fans alike with his technical skills and vision on the pitch. He wasn't just another player, he was viewed as a future leader, someone who could fill the shoes of the club's aging stars in the years to come. His ability to adapt to Guardiola's demanding tactical system further elevated his status within the team. But as with many rising stars, the pressures and expectations began to mount. Nunes found himself in and out of the starting lineup, competing for minutes with established midfield maestros. While his performances were promising, they weren't yet at the level expected of a regular starter at a club like Manchester City. This left the door open for speculation about his future, especially with other clubs showing interest. The Spanish temptation. Enter Atletico de Madrid, one of Spain's most storied football clubs. Known for their tenacious style of play and tactical discipline under Diego Simeone, Atletico saw in Matheus Nunes the perfect addition to their midfield. The rumors linking Nunes to the Spanish capital started to gain traction, and soon it became clear that Atletico were serious about bringing him to La Liga. Atletico's interest wasn't merely speculative. The club had just secured the services of Julian Alvarez for a staggering €90 million, but their ambition didn't stop there. They were looking to build a squad capable of challenging both domestically and in Europe. Nunes, with his blend of physicality and technical prowess, fit the bill perfectly. The idea of pairing him with Atletico's established stars was an enticing prospect for the club's management. However, despite their ambitions, financial constraints loomed large for Atletico as well. The expenditure on Alvarez meant that any additional signings would need to be carefully considered. This put the club in a tricky position, as they needed to offload players or secure external funding to make a viable bid for Nunes. The Spanish club's pursuit of the midfielder thus became a waiting game, hinging on whether they could muster the necessary resources. City's change of heart. Manchester City's initial response to the interest in Matheus Nunes was firm: the player was not for sale. Guardiola valued Nunes' potential and saw him as part of the club's long-term plans. The idea of selling a young talent who could blossom into a world-class player didn't align with City's strategy. But football is a dynamic world where circumstances can change rapidly. As the transfer window progressed, City's stance began to shift. The looming presence of FFP regulations and the potential for a lucrative offer from Atletico forced the club to reconsider. Selling Nunes for €40 million, a significant profit compared to his purchase price, suddenly seemed like a smart business move. It would provide the club with much-needed financial flexibility ahead of the January transfer window, where they could reinvest in the squad. Behind closed doors, discussions intensified. The board weighed the pros and cons of selling Nunes, considering not just the financial aspects but also the impact on the team's performance. Guardiola was consulted, and while he wasn't eager to lose a promising player, he understood the broader strategic needs of the club. The decision was eventually made: if a suitable offer came in, City would be willing to negotiate. The waiting game. With City's newfound openness to a sale, the ball was now in Atletico Madrid's court. The Spanish club had to decide whether they could meet City's asking price and whether Nunes was worth the investment. This led to a period of intense speculation, with media outlets across Europe closely monitoring the situation. However, the benefits of the sale could not be ignored. The €40 million generated. Thanks for watching. Subscribe in our channel and press the like button for support us. See YA on the next videos.